3, 2, 1. Welcome to another exciting Wild West Trail podcast.
Sponsored by LaCroix.
Well, actually, we're sponsored by Right on Trek, but we'll get to that later. This is actually a huge podcast episode because there's a lot of news coming down the pipeline, and it's actually happening this week. Basically, the trail is moving. Wild West Trail is moving. Headquarters. I'm moving up to Alaska. And that should be a good deal for you guys as viewers because you're going to get a lot more content, a lot more outdoor content. And that's really exciting. And Carmen, why don't you tell them where you're going?
Well, I'll be headed east. I'll be headed east and I'll be headed south to the beautiful land of Tennessee.
Wow, Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee, man.
You know, Carmen, you're the only 10 that I see. Oh.
Well, Joel, that's great. It's funny you bring that up. I'm going to be using that line with everybody that I meet.
That's good.
Yeah, so I'm expecting to only meet 10s.
Yeah. That's why it's called Tennessee.
Guys and girls.
So, well, yeah, I mean, it's Tennessee. Well, I'm moving to Nashville. It's going to be a very progressive part of Tennessee, for better or worse.
Yeah.
But I tend to move to capital cities.
Right.
But it doesn't stop me from getting out into the interior, and that's what I'm really excited about with Tennessee because, as you know, Joel, the Smoky Mountains are there, but there's also a lot of whitewater, a lot of whitewater action there, and as you know, and as some of the viewers know, I've been down to Patagonia. Both of us have whitewater down in Patagonia.
That's true.
So it's going to be a whole new adventure. You're going to be up in the north. I'll be down in the south. And you're going to be hitting it from, one angle. I'll be hitting it from another angle. So they're going to get the old one, too.
Yeah, it's actually an exciting time. If you're not subscribed, you should subscribe to this channel. And now we do have a special guest. And this is actually Kevin Perez. And Kevin is an artistic genius mastermind from New Jersey. Who flew all the way out here.
Savant.
Really, he designed the logo of the Wild West Trail, which you can see in the description on the website. We use it everywhere.
How many compliments have we got on that?
I can't even count them because they're
please leave in the comments. Just say thank you to him.
Yeah, go through them one by one, please.
There's too many to go through one by one.
Love compliments. So yeah.
See, Kevin, what was when you had the idea of creating the logo?
Yeah.
What kind of went through your mind when you were making it?
I tried to picture myself on the trail. What would I like to see? But truth be told, it was your concept, Joel, and I just brought it to fruition. So you had an idea, and I tried to execute that idea as best I could.
That was good. I mean, it looks amazing. I mean, look at this hat that Carmen has, by the way. That's the logo. The green stands for the lush greenery of the Wild West Trail, the interior of Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. The black stands for the heart of darkness, the absolute black hole of hiking through central Idaho, and of course the snow-capped peaks there represent snow.
But Kevin didn't make the hat.
Kevin didn't make the hat.
Right.
We got that special ordered.
They did a great job making this hat, and they kind of butchered the logo a little bit. No, it looks good.
No, the logo looks good.
It looks good.
By the way, we're thinking about ordering some hats. So if you guys want hats, why don't you
leave it in the comments? What do you want to see? What kind of products do you want to buy from us? Because we know you want to support the trail,
right?
And we know you want to do more than subscribe and hit the notification button, hit the like button. Because you already do that. You're already telling your friends you want to support the trail. You want to buy some stuff from us. Well, we got maps. You know that. You already bought a few. We got pipes. We got some other things on there. We got the magnets.
Right.
But what else do you want to see? Do you want to see trekking poles? Do you want to see mosquito nets?
Right. That's an idea.
Do you want? What else do we have in the pipeline?
We have a lot of sponsors, and our sponsors actually give discounts to our followers. Right on Trek is one of them. They do pre-made meals. They're pretty good. We'll be doing some more review videos for them. But if you guys want a nice discount code in the description.
And another thing, because since we're going to do the whole first minute of this thing, just promo. Let's just talk about Gaia GPS for a moment, because Gaia GPS is what we use in the backcountry.
It's true.
And it's actually never let us down. I mean, yeah, is it perfect? No. But is it worth the money? Honestly, yeah.
I have it.
And if you use the code that we have in the information down here, you get 10-15% off.
Right, and then we get a little kickback, a little cut.
Like we get a couple cents.
And that lets us continue to make these videos.
Absolutely.
And Kevin, you're here from New Jersey. Now, Kevin, do you do any outdoor stuff? Backpacking, fishing, hiking?
I go to bars and restaurants. Yeah,
Bars and
I think-
restaurants.
I think, yeah. We're allowed to sit outside.
You can sit outside out
Yeah.
there?
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
nice of them to let you do
It's
Wow.
the new frontier.
Luckily, it's not cold anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you guys doing for lockdown? Because in Idaho, we were able to do pretty much whatever we wanted. What were you doing in New Jersey?
A lot of Scrabble. Some Jenga was in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any Catan?
I wish. No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have a Catan following too much in my circle these days.
So this is interesting, right? Because I'm moving to Alaska to go find new stuff. Carmen's moving to Tennessee. Kevin lives in the city. But we're all here in Boise. And so we're trying to figure out what to do with our last week in Boise. And yesterday, we actually went up. We got some spring water.
We did.
Yeah.
Do we have any of that?
We do have some spring water. Kevin, why don't you show the
think we
fine
do.
people?
I think we do.
Wow. So this is actually filled up at a spring. No.
But by the way, can I just say something real quick? So here's the thing, guys.
It's just water. It's not just water.
So here's the thing, guys. You can actually go to the store. You can buy these empty ones. I didn't realize this.
You can buy an empty one?
So here's
I
what
didn't know
happened.
they sold
I
empty
locked it on accidentally. So so that's why it's filled up like this. Because while I was doing the spring, climbing up there to kind of get that fresh water, the cap kind of came off. I took the cap off. Well, when you put it on, now it's sealed. So now you got to actually peel it and break it. So it's a sealed bottle of water that just didn't get filled up all the way. But we got 3 more gallons. I gave a little bit to the blueberry plants.
That's
because
true.
I felt like, you know what, they need to take a little taste. But it is fantastic water. I got to be honest with you. I felt like drinking a Red Bull when I first. And you know what?
I think you should drink it. Though.
People, well, I don't want. Should I open it?
Open it. Open
So
it.
here's the
Give
other
it-
thing.
give us your
Here's the other.
your
Can I
review.
tell you? Okay, it's childproof. I got to do this. So here's the thing. People
this brings me back.
always forget that you could drink spring water, and I do. Okay, should I drink it out of the?
He's waterfall in it.
But here's the other thing. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's got flavor. You can taste the minerals. But here's the other thing. People always forget. And normally I would do this outside, but when you're under a stream, you always want to get the back of the neck. When you get the back of the neck.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
See. Oh, and it feels amazing.
Forgot to lay the tarp down.
Wow. Splash zone.
Hey yo.
So anyway, that's what when you put spring water. You guys want to try it?
No,
When you put
no.
spring water on your face.
Nope.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh. He's waterboarding himself.
You usually have to pay extra for
Wow,
that.
it's like being outside. Anyway, so I recommend getting the spring water and drinking it.
I highly recommend. So.
so refreshing.
Can't believe that just happened.
So, is there anything else you want to get to? Because I have something I do. Want
No,
to
Carmen, let the people know what's on
So
your
look,
mind.
all right, we're hobbling into this. I want to start. Also want to mention that here at the Wild West Trail, we are an organization of firsts. We were the first people to map a trail through the heart of the wilderness, through some of America's most wildest places in the lower 48.
True.
We were the first people to connect all these different wilderness areas and do it all in one summer. Are you kidding me?
True.
So, essentially one, even though we hit 3 seasons ish, it's one season.
One season.
One hiking season. So we're innovators, and when the hiking community has gone through a lot over the last year. 2020 has hit everything.
There's been a lot of fear out there.
There was a lot of fear, and 2020 hit, and I know a lot of people had big plans to do things like the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, the CDT, and a lot of these plans got put on the wayside for better or worse. And we were covering this from the beginning. We always want to say, look, whether you're in the backcountry or you're in your regular life, you need to be prepared.
Right.
And so we were in January of last year. We had rice and we had all kinds of stuff.
Right. We've been prepared. We were prepared for the COVID lockdowns before it was announced.
We were ready. We had a good lead on it, and we even wrote an article, as you guys may
We
have
have to
seen,
have a blog about it.
on
where we talk about
on
it.
the Wild West Trail. It's about COVID. Can I even say that word on you?
I think we can say it now because it's over.
Okay, so we had an article about COVID on there, and so and that we were even ahead of it before CNN, before all these big organizations were. Look at the date on there and download the paper, read the paper, and see what that may say, and look at what the implications of that may be. Now I make that point, Joel,
Okay.
only to say that we are not only ahead of the curve. We are we're ahead of the curve on a lot of
We're
these things.
bleeding
We're
edge.
bleeding edge. And so I think the next thing, and I think really where this pertains to the outdoors, because We've got a lot of great stuff here, and we really want to encourage people to get outside. But you got to be safe outside. You really don't want to be hiking a lot of crazy places alone.
It's true.
You don't want to be doing crazy things alone. And, there are a lot of people that go missing every year. There's people that have gone missing this year already. And the people that have gone missing this year, a lot of times, most of the time, it is mental illness. And so you need to, first of all, you need to tell people where you are before you go out. That needs to happen. Second of all, you don't want to be alone. Okay?
Everything that you're saying is absolutely true, Carmen. You want to give people notes as to where you're going. You want your family members to know where you're going. You want a hiking buddy. Now, where I think this is going is that there are also unexplained disappearances in the wilderness.
Well, there are, and I'm not saying that I have any answers as to what those may be. There are guys like David Paulides, missing 411 at the Can-Am Project.
What are those projects?
The Can America Missing Project. It's for people that are missing in Canada and North America.
So it's people that are missing under strange circumstances.
Under strange circumstances, and there seems to be some sort of pattern. Now, whether that's a correlation of some sort or if there's some underlying causation there, that remains to be seen. Look, I'm a skeptic, as you know. I'm one of the biggest skeptics there is when it comes to a lot of this stuff. And I'm really, look, they make a lot of, look, we've been out there for we were out there for thousands of miles. Hundreds of days, thousands of miles, both of us, times two when you really think about it, the man hours. I never saw anything crazy.
No.
You never saw anything crazy out there.
Crazy.
And I think most of this stuff could just be explained away. Now,
there are certain phenomena that are coming to light, unexplained aerial phenomena.
And that's really where I wanted to go with this, because I don't.
Did you?
That's where we're headed.
I didn't even see that coming.
Well, that's how meta this is. That's how deep this stuff is. We're on the same wavelength here. So the point is, take that stuff with the missing stuff aside, but the bleeding edge stuff. And Tucker, I don't know if you guys follow this guy Tucker.
Tucker Carlson from Fox News.
Yeah, he just posted another thing
Now,
tonight.
Kevin doesn't like Tucker Carlson.
But he's the only one covering this stuff.
Yeah, he seems like pretty lame.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. Here's the thing: you can't cuck the tuck. But in any case, I will say this:
I wish he was cooler.
Don't we all? So it's just nobody more than him. But in any case,
bring back the bow ties.
In any case,
it was a good look to get
there are unexplained aerial phenomena that are coming to light, and I do think that the next phase of this thing, the last thing we were scared about or supposed to be scared about was COVID. Before that. We got terrorism, we got climate change, that's never ending. But the next phase of this thing, in my humble opinion, and this is not the official opinion of the Wild West Trail, but I do think we may have some disclosure coming. And if that's the case...
Wait, a new album from Disclosure? Or...
Is Disclosure a band?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
We joke now, but it's so funny because that article came out months before.
Which article?
The COVID-19
So we wrote a COVID-19 article, Carmen did specifically, discussing the lab leak hypothesis. And we published an article, it's actually on our website. We actually host the primary source of a Chinese national who ran a study showing how close the Wuhan virus lab is to the wet market. And this Chinese national makes the hypothesis, the point that there's a very good chance that COVID actually came from a lab. Now, we published this back in
March.
Early
March.
2020, when everyone said that's crazy, that's a conspiracy theory, no way that's possible. Now everyone's talking about it like it actually is true. I just want to let you know, and if you're a viewer of this podcast, you already know that we're on top of it, okay? And so when we bring up unexplained aerial phenomenons, it's something that we don't want to be right about, but it's something that needs to be discussed because there is a lot of evidence and there's a lot of interesting information that a lot of credible sources, it's starting to have a snowball effect. And it is concerning because we don't actually understand what's going on. And Kevin, have you thought about this at all as a layperson?
I know less about what's going on than the most people. Wait,
So,
I just want to clear up something. Are you saying the unexplained disappearances on these paths are caused by this?
I'm not saying that.
Unidentified.
Some people are saying that in some cases that could be some sort of relationship. I'm not saying I know anything about that or believe in any of that.
But it's possible.
Well, anything's possible.
Oh.
Well, it's weird. And there's a lot of people that are afraid of the woods and the wilderness. And as someone who's lived out there for months on end, I don't think there's anything out there. I actually feel safer in the woods than anywhere else. But these unexplained aerial phenomena, the point that we're making, what kind of evidence do you think we're going to see over the next couple of months? Because you're more plugged into this than anyone I know.
Well, here's what I think. Look, here's what all I'm hoping for is for the Director of National Intelligence to fulfill the law that was signed into There was a
law?
There was a bill that was signed into law in January from the previous administration that basically mandated within 180 days, 6 months, basically Congress was to be delivered a report on all of the findings and all of the intelligence agencies know about this unexplained. They don't call them UFOs anymore. They call them unexplained aerial phenomena. Now that deadline is June. Now that may be delayed but it's incoming. Here's just in the last 3 days. Just today there was a video released, and just 2 days ago there was a video released. All of these confirmed by the Pentagon. The Pentagon says they don't know what it is. Now, this is telling because just in the tone, look, now they're acknowledging it. It's we can see the drips of this over the last couple of years. A lot of this evidence has come out over the last few years. Even last year, there were things that were coming out, especially everything was happening with COVID. Nobody was paying attention to. So, what do I think is going to be disclosed? I think what they're going to disclose is, look, there was a new guy on 60 Minutes on Sunday that said, he was a pilot, said they were seeing this off of San Diego, off of California, every day for 2 years. They saw these things every day for 2. He's like, how many? And the guy goes, wait a minute. We should be. I don't want to go too off on a tangent. I don't want to get too pedantic about this. Go too deep on it. But
I'm listening.
But I'm just saying that. Look,
I'm not.
We do. Look, I actually think hiking is probably some of the safest places to be. And it also could be some of the best places to be able to view these things when you're actually away from the cities. So what I'm saying is, like.
So they're targeting.
It's the best. Not only is it the best time to get out there in the woods and start looking around, but you could be in the best shape to actually maybe see something. How often are you even actually looking at the sky? We're inside right now. I mean, we don't really look at the sky.
Yeah, we live in a city. Even if you look at the sky, the light pollution cancels it out. No, Kevin lives in New Jersey. How many days do you spend looking at the night sky?
I tend to look down because I'm clumsy, so I don't want to trip.
It's true.
Yeah, but the sky's cool too.
Yeah. And as a hiker and as a backpackers, spring is coming. There's more unexplained aerial phenomena than ever before. Now, why that is, personally, I think it's because we have more technology than ever before. So we're scanning the skies. We're able to record videos more frequently. However, some people say these unexplained aerial phenomena are actually increasing in frequency.
Yeah, increasing in frequency. And the other thing is, a lot of these things, we want to say they're drones. We want to explain them away. A lot of times these are happening 100 miles offshore, which would would make it very hard for a drone to get out 100 miles offshore going 30 knots against the wind or whatever it's doing. And now they're saying they're transmedium, where they're going into the ocean. So now they can go air to ocean.
Is there a video of this transmedium?
There is a video of it. It was just released and confirmed by the Pentagon that they don't know what it is. And you can see it on infrared. It happened at 11 o'clock at night, so it's all on infrared. But you can watch this object go into the water, and then submarines apparently tried to find it but couldn't find it.
Let's go to the clip. No?
Yeah, get the producer. Can you go to the clip?
Now I gotta edit that. So, in there, guys.
That's a good point. So I don't want to go too much of it, but I do think it's worth discussing, and I think that if we can't talk about it on our show, then why even?
Well, we're talking about it now.
It's important.
We are talking about it now.
Right, and I'm not saying and so there's all kinds of people talk about all kinds of stuff out there, but
so these unexplained aerial phenomena, this is something that has been taking up a lot of our brain power and bandwidth while we're making these big moves, while we're creating new content for the channel. We don't live in a bubble. We have to talk about these things that are happening in the world around us. And the unexplained aerial phenomena are exciting. It could be aliens. It could just be the Chinese or the Russians. It could be someone within the deep state that has awesome drones that run on gasoline and don't need to be near the shore. Which personally I think this is just drone technology that we're filming. But we'll wait and find out. But on top of that, cryptocurrency has been going crazy.
Crypto's been going
and
great.
Actually, Wild West Trail, we're big fans of cryptocurrency. Right. If anyone from the government's watching, we actually don't own any cryptocurrency, but we know quite a lot about it.
Joel, it's one of the things that we discuss here in this household more than most things.
More than most things.
And it's so exciting. And we got things like Dogecoin going off. You got Dave Portnoy getting in the game now.
And who's Dave Portnoy?
Oh, Portnoy El Prez. One Bite, everybody knows the rules. He founded Barstool Sports. And all around good guy. He does a lot for the little man, and I'm a big fan of Dave Portnoy. So
we're trying to get him on the podcast.
We definitely want to. Hey, Dave, if you're seeing this, definitely we'd love to have you on the show.
We'll take you fishing.
I can make a good stromboli pizza, but a good stromboli.
It's true. The stromboli was delicious.
Yeah,
we should have that on the podcast, but we ate it all.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But anyways, lots happening in crypto. We got the big dip happening right now with all this stuff.
So the dip, what does that mean? What? Because the crypto bull market that just happened was probably the biggest bull market of all time.
Right.
But Bitcoin went up to 70,000 at one point.
I think at one point it hit that, and we're also talking about market cap of all crypto. What over $2.5 trillion?
Yeah, over $2.5 trillion.
Now it's under one. Now it's under $2 trillion again. It's dipped back down, so it's lost. About a quarter, about a fifth of its total. But did I do the math right on that? Something like that. But yeah. So we're getting this sort of consolidation. Now this is all predicated, it seems, from some tweets from Elon Musk.
So Elon Musk is a heavy hitter in the crypto marketplace. And here's the reason why. Cryptocurrencies as a technology, not to get too off topic here, but if you guys don't know what cryptocurrencies are, it's a digital means of exchange. And if you've ever downloaded music or pirated music, you can copy and replicate music infinitely and you can have the same song at almost no cost. What cryptocurrency does is take that same technology of sharing information, but instead of sharing files that can be duplicated infinitely, it shares files that can't be duplicated. So cryptocurrency is amazing because it's a digital format that actually has their immutable characteristics of the data that can't be replicated or copied. So that means each token, each coin is unique. And that's why there's value in it, because right now our money has value because the U.S. government says it has value. But they can print as much of it as they want. We don't know how many dollars exist.
And what we get with crypto is at least something more like true accountability. We have no accountability with the U.S. dollar. We don't know how many there are. And honestly, when the Wild West...
what crypto really does, it cuts out the middleman. There's no humans. There's no banks.
Right.
We can have trustless forms of peer-to-peer transfer of value.
It's an order of magnitude more efficient.
This is on the surface. If you guys have questions, we have blogs explaining exactly what blockchain technology is.
And when Wild West Trail was founded, we were founding it at the time of this big crypto boom in 2017, 2018.
Yep.
And really, we had a lot of hopes to put Wild West Trail on a blockchain at some point.
Yep.
Basically, create some sort of platform to crowdfund and exchange and gear exchange. And I remember we had discussed this. So the future is bright for cryptocurrency. The future is bright for Wild West Trail. And I'll also be doing some consulting on the side. I do have a website set up. So if you are if you are interested in discussing any of this, I think I'll have my own YouTube channel set up as well.
What's the website?
It'll be cryptocarmen.com. That's cryptocarmen, CARMEN.com. And you can find me on there, and I'll be doing coaching sessions and one-on-one consulting. We'll have a chat room. It'll be pretty cool.
That's really interesting because
build a community out of that.
Wild West Trail as an idea was founded on the idea of pioneering something, making something new, staying on the cutting edge, the bleeding edge, even if no one else is there. Honestly, we've sold 2 trail maps of the Wild West Trail, and I think someone's going to hike it this year for the first time.
Right.
Well,
Army vet.
Yeah. And then the Idaho Centennial Trail, though, the heart and soul of the Wild West Trail, is more popular this year than ever before. And some of that credit does go to you guys watching the channel and helping it make it popular and bringing people to the wilderness.
Right.
And in that same spirit, we're also dipping our toes into cryptocurrency, dipping our toes into new forms of content, and dipping our toes into this kind of current event chatter around UAPs.
Yeah, and I want to just level with some people here. Look, though everything's going crazy. Who knows what's happening? All I'm saying is the Wild West Trail as an experience. Now, look, Idaho Centennial Trail was tough.
Yeah.
But just that second half, Wild West Trail, that second half from Glacier down through Yellowstone, through Montana, into Wyoming,
yeah.
Tetons, that is some of the most I have no words to describe it. And so it's like, I want to encourage everybody watching this, like, if you're thinking about doing it, look, it's very doable.
The second half of the Wild West Trail is just a beautiful hike.
Absolutely. And if the whole thing's just too intimidating, which it is, do the second half of it, and it's amazing. It's doable in what? How long do you think it'll take to do that second half? What? 40 days? 45
60.
days? For what? It's 1,000 miles.
It's 1,300.
Okay.
Well, if from Glacier, it's like 1,000. Yeah.
Right. So you're looking at what? For 1,000 miles, you're looking at what? 20 miles a day? Those are easy miles.
Those are easy miles.
So 20 miles a day, it's
Yeah, they can make it happen. But obviously, we're not going to be hiking the trail again this year. We already did
50
it.
days.
Kevin, are you going to hike it?
I might do part of Yellowstone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Drive through Grand Tetons and.
Whoa.
You're gonna do the Poachers Trail?
I think mostly driving.
No, you're gonna do the. Oh, okay, driving.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
Hopefully.
That's cool. Do you know what Tetons means?
I do. I think.
What do they mean? What does it mean? Like, what language is it?
I believe it's Latin. Is it not a Latin romance language? Maybe.
I believe it's Spanish.
Oh, Spanish. Okay.
It wasn't wrong.
It wasn't right.
It's close.
And what does it mean?
Large.
Large.
Teton!
Tetons!
It kind of explains itself.
What?
Does it?
Does it?
Yeah.
What does it? What does it mean?
A large chest.
A large chest.
A
Oh!
large.
Like of a woman's chest.
Yeah, not a man's chest. No.
The Teton!
Tetons. So anyway, that's what the Tetons means. Thanks, Kevin, for bringing in that potty
That was
language.
weird, man.
Yeah. So I'm going to be fishing this summer, not looking at mountains and picturing women's breasts like Kevin over
Well, no,
here.
that's what you do when you're fishing.
It's weird when you're fishing. All you think about is women, and when you're with women, all you think about is going fishing.
It's really bizarre how that works. It's funny how that works, man. But on that note, I hope to be making a pit stop on the way to Tennessee on the Jersey Shore of all places.
The Jersey Shore.
My cousin's got a
That
boat.
seems like an out of the way place to go if you're trying to go to Tennessee.
I'm going the roundabout way. Tennessee by way of New Jersey.
Okay.
It's a
What's the name of that trail called?
Carmen's alternate.
Oh, that's a good one.
Carmen's other
like
alternate.
CryptoCarmen.com.
Sponsored by, this whole podcast is sponsored by CryptoCarmen.com. So,
What are you going to be doing out there?
fishing. I'll be
You're
doing some fishing. Yeah, I'll be doing some fishing in the Barnegat Bay.
That's South Jersey?
Barnegat Bay is in Ocean County. It is one of the most dangerous inlets on the east coast of the United States.
In terms of like accidents.
In terms of accidents, in terms of boating accidents a year. That's because the way that the water kind of comes in, it's very deep, and the way that the water kind of hits the jetties at that point. And there's the Barnegat Lighthouse up there, which is really cool. And there's a ton of fish. So fluke, perch. That perch is going to be in the bay. And then hopefully some mako shark maybe.
You're trying to hunt some shark.
Or trying to go for some shark and some tuna.
So when you catch a shark, you have to use wire steel cable for that?
I'm not entirely sure. My cousin, the expert, I do know we may be bringing a shotgun with us.
So when you get the shark on the boat,
we may have to shoot it.
you shoot it.
We may have to. Luckily, we will have GoPros and
We're gonna get the action on
So
camera.
if there's action to be had, now I gotta be on. I don't want to get your expectations up because my cousin, and hopefully he is watching this. He's been talking about getting a shark for 10 years.
Yeah.
Now I did get
He
a
has
shark
been.
with him 10 years ago. I didn't get a shark with him. I ate some of the mako that they caught, and this mako shark was some of the tastiest. When you put it on the grill, and it comes out like a steak. That's white meat steak. Imagine that. Imagine a white meat steak
Tender.
on the grill. You have to catch it. You have to catch it. So hopefully we get one this summer. Hoping to get some of that.
It's the white whale.
What?
That's my
Like the yeah.
I get the reference.
The white steak.
Abacus. What was his name?
What was the guy's name in Moby Dick?
Right. What was his name?
Captain Ahab.
Ahab.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No, personally, I would be up fishing in Alaska. I'll be on the Kenai River. It's a big salmon river. There's halibut. So hopefully I get some salmon. I'm going for king salmon, the big boys, 60-pounders. Want to catch one of those. That'll be fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And Alaska, what's so exciting, Joel, about you going up there, it's really one of the most pristine places on the face of the earth. And the quality of the food that you'll be able to just catch for yourself, the quality of the water you'll be able to drink, the quality of the air you'll be able to breathe, it's really second to none, really, in the entire world. So you're going to be up there experiencing it for yourself and also bringing it to the viewers, sharing as much of it as you can.
That's true.
With the viewers. And I'll be at the Barnegat Bay. Hopefully, but which I do want to bring up. Oh, another thing too. You're gonna be flying.
Oh yeah, I have a private pilot's license that I'll be training to get my commercial while I'm up in Alaska. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to get some cameras strapped to these birds up there. Get some glacier shots, that kind of thing. If you guys would be interested in that, we're gonna try to get some of that up on the channel for you. I don't know, Kevin. Would you watch that as a guy who doesn't watch our videos?
No.
No, it's going to be some great shots. You're going to get some good shots up there.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah.
Another public service announcement I wanted to make.
Mm-hmm.
Not to get too far off, but I mentioned Barnegat Bay, and it just reminded me. Nuclear power.
Okay.
I've always been for nuclear power.
Carmen has been pro-nuclear, and I haven't.
I've always been for nuclear power. I was the biggest fan of it. I bought into the whole thing with we could do thorium reactors, all these other sorts of things.
Sure, maybe.
Right. I think I'm changing my tune on nuclear, and I'll tell you why. I like the wilderness, Joel. I like the earth. I like the air. I like the water. I really do care. That's really what I want this earth for the next generation. I'm worried that there are leaks coming from from these plants that are public, that most people just don't take into consideration. I gotta say, I grew up in a place near the oldest operating nuclear generating station in the country, Oyster Creek Nuclear Power Generating Station, which has since been decommissioned, which the decommissioning process is still ongoing, but they were first commissioned, I believe, around 1952, I want to say. And the oldest still running. Now, I always thought it was safe. Now, growing up in the elementary school down there, we were given... we were told, we were given a plan that if there was ever a leak, we would be given iodine tablets. And the iodine, I think, saves your thyroid from getting cancer because it prevents the radioactive iodine from getting in. In any case, we never had to use them. However, recently I started looking into nuclear. Okay, it's a long-winded thing. Mm-hmm. But I recently...
and that was in the 1950s.
That was... No, I grew up. No, I grew up in the 90s.
64 years old.
I grew up in the 90s. I look good for 64. Yeah. But in the 90s, we were. Anyway, there were these plans. I grew up within 2 miles of this plant.
Right.
And so, come to find out, there's been a number of leaks, specifically from Oyster Creek into the groundwater, into the Barnegat Bay. That's one of the largest aquifers in the East Coast. I think one of the largest in the world. And it's just not something that we ever really consider. It is a shame because I'm not quite sure on the extent of it. People say it's within safe levels, this and that. Who really knows?
What is safe in terms of levels?
I really don't know. And to be honest with you, I really need to look into this stuff further. But I wanted to bring it to people's attention, just with nuclear, just to kind of look into that. I know it sounds like I'm going wearing the crazy shirt and we're talking about all these crazy things, but. I think when you start living a lifestyle where the outdoors and where you're sort of away from society, you start looking at it with a different perspective, and you're like, wait, what about this? What about this?
Right. I mean, having that outside perspective looking in,
right?
It's a luxury that we have, and we like to bring that perspective to people that don't necessarily agree with us. Specifically, Kevin here, he's lived in New Jersey his entire life. He still lives. What? You still commute to work?
No, I've been working remote for about...
Right, for COVID?
For 14 months, yeah.
And how many years have you lived in the Northeast Corridor? Now, if anyone doesn't know New Jersey, it's the most densely populated state in the whole country. And the Northeast Corridor is this densely packed house, high-density housing. Like, I'm talking 10, 15-story apartment buildings with 1,000 people living in them, shoulder to shoulder to shoulder to shoulder, from New York City all the way down to Philadelphia. That's the Northeast Corridor. And that's where Kevin here is from.
Right.
And so he's out to Idaho. He's breathing the clean air, seeing all the open space. But that's a perspective that you bring. And so when you hear us talking about these things, Kevin, how does that make you feel?
I think the pollution was good for me. All the radiation, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Would you recommend people also raise their kids in New Jersey?
No, we're full. We're full now. Yeah. We don't have backyards. We're literally next to each other. Yeah, we don't have front yards. It's
No
packed
yards.
to the gills,
Yeah.
as they say.
It's like sardines.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only fish I know. Also, tuna. I never heard of it.
That's a shame. So you can live like
Wait,
Kevin
you can,
here.
I want to go back to that. Actually, you can catch tuna in New Jersey.
Off the coast, yeah.
Yeah, they run. They migrate.
Huh, I never knew that.
Really?
Yeah.
Where did you think tuna came from?
Chickenofthesea.com or whatever it is.
So they just owned farms.
Yeah.
Have you? So you never thought about where your tuna came from? You just ate
No,
it.
I didn't know. I guess the Pacific Ocean, not really an Atlantic thing.
Mm-hmm. They're in the Pacific too.
Tuna.
I've seen dolphins near Delaware once.
I've seen
Really?
dolphins. I've seen dolphins in New Jersey.
I've
In
seen
New
dolphins
Jersey.
in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, off the coast.
Off the coast. Yeah.
They live in cold water. It's weird. People say dolphins are smart, but really? They live underwater.
Well, no. The
People
interesting
say pigs are smart.
The interesting thing about dolphins is they evolved. From what I understand, their intelligence isn't. They didn't evolve in the same way that humans did, but it's of the same sort of magnitude. From what I understand, dolphins are mammals, obviously, and they live in the ocean, but they are smarter than dogs, smarter than pigs.
That makes sense.
And I don't know how smart octopus are, but at least as smart as a dog or a pig. Maybe smarter. Have you guys seen the movie My Octopus Teacher?
No.
Now that's a movie.
Yes.
And I highly recommend, you want to talk about, look, we're a channel focused on the outdoors. And so we do a lot of hiking, we do a lot of outdoors related activities. And even when we hunt, it's with respect to nature. And,
Of course.
But the Octopus Teacher, and look, to be fair, and this might anger some of you, I do love eating octopus as a delicacy, as a food.
The only thing that gets me angry is that I haven't had octopus in about 2 weeks.
If you eat it, if you eat it
Wait,
grilled, if you eat a grilled octopus, it's fantastic. I would say some garlic and
delicious.
oil. Or some
Wait, now I'm mad because I haven't had octopus in like 6 months.
grilled octopus.
Really?
I haven't had it in years.
Oh, it's delicious.
It's been years, but I would recommend watching the movie My Octopus Teacher. This guy, I believe he's a South African gentleman, and he actually swims with an octopus for about, I think they only live about 100 days.
Do they fall in love?
He falls in love. The thing they have a bond, and the thing swims on his hand, and he comes to the surface with them.
Whoa.
And
Yes, they do.
Whoa.
And this thing, I don't want to spoil
Better
the
love
movie.
story than
I don't want to
Twilight.
spoil the
Isn't
movie.
there like a cartoon about
Yeah,
that with like people who fall in love with octopus tentacles?
Well, there are some stories of somebody falling in love with a dolphin and
That's true.
Oh,
marrying a dolphin.
Whoa.
No, sorry, Carmen.
But no, so I wanted to mention that. What were we talking about before the octopus, though?
But it's a documentary, correct?
Yeah.
It's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend watching it. But the truth is look, we at the Wild West Trail, look, we care about conservation, and we care about the outdoors, and we care about people. We care about, and look, for somebody who's never been out in the woods,
Like
for somebody
Kevin here.
Look, Kevin, in fact, we took Kevin out. Kevin,
We took him out.
So what was it like? We came out, we were looking for morel mushrooms, we didn't find any.
We took Kevin about 3 hours outside of Boise up to the Danskin Mountains, which are basically the foothills of the Sawtooth. A little bit drier than the Sawtooth. This time of year, it's a good time. We drove up to about 6,500 feet, saw some burn areas, and a lot of good views. What was your initial impressions there?
I think it's beautiful. I think it's a lot more diverse wildlife than a lot of parts of New Jersey, and I want to see more.
Whoa.
It was like a sneak preview. I was like, I want to get into this.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would you say?
But also Idaho is huge, right?
Right.
Oh, it's
In
massive.
comparison to a lot of other states.
I think the Treasure Valley, which is the Boise Metro, basically, is the size of New Jersey.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
So in your short time here, and you've only been here a couple of days, we haven't done much, but would you say that it was a transformative experience?
Yes.
Are you
Wow.
forever
The-
changed by Idaho?
Well,
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and if we only found morels, that would be the
the
cherry on top.
cherry on the
Those things are impossible to find.
Where can you usually find morels?
In the woods.
So
That's it.
That's all we got to work on.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, should we want to give them some of what we know?
Well, we know we run into them when we were hiking the trail about 3 years ago now, in burn areas that burned last year. So areas that
So it
Fresh
takes
burns.
It takes
fresh
a year.
burns.
Well-
Well, within less than a season, right? So
Right.
they burn in August, September, and then they come out May, June.
And they're running on, from what we understand, a 7-year cycle. Some of the best places to find morels.
Yeah, it's the burn areas, and that's where you want to look. Now, you can find them other places, but the burn areas, you can almost count on it. It has to be fresh burns. It has to be the right time of year, though. So it's hard. It's difficult.
Yeah, but there were periods where we saw, fields, essentially of morels. But again, it was in these places that were probably 20 miles from a road.
Hey, we want everyone out there to hike, and we want everyone out there to have a good time. And we want everyone just looking at the skies, thinking critically, looking around them, trying to find new perspectives for the world.
Right.
And we want to say, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Share, like, and subscribe. It means a lot to us.
Right. Thank you so much. And again, thanks to Right on Trek. Thanks to Right on Trek. These are some delicious meals. You're going to be doing a review for that.
That's right.
Thanks to the guy at GPS.
Right.
Definitely, if you need some navigational help, check out them. Use the code. And thank you to Crypto Carmen, which is me. I'll be doing some crypto consulting. So we're building a whole ecosystem. We're building a community. It's about eating right. It's about living right. It's about financial freedom. It's about
lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle. Wild West Trail is a lifestyle brand at the heart of it.
So follow us. A lot of new content coming your way.
Thanks for watching.